to become the governor of Nairobi County?
For the last courts of law in Kenya. It's disappointing to me. Talking about to decide whether to travel or not.
Me would like to get more your lawyers. You no. Yes.
No, that question. Nothing I communicate with my lawyers by the private communication between them to say, look, member whom you have it. You've not demanded that. I've lost and also duty to source information. His rights have been violated like me.
So, Dr. Miguna, have you been corrected by
entertain so number one, country that are accountable to them, unquestionable with visions, which means that we have not have either been assassinated or exiled or frustrated through fraud. It does not care about human rights. It does not care about torture. Joined Uhuru Kenyatta. They have kicked him out of this. My position is.
Thank you very much, Dr. Miguna. Based on personal interest,
anyone who has not shifted anything, left the struggle, the one who conspired with Uhuru Kenyatta to arrest. I'm not the one who shook hands with. Raila is the one doing that. I'm not makes Kenyans one who is supporting economic practice and stashing money in. I'm not the one who is trying to control the Kenyatta. I'm not the one a perfect president, even though a rail track. So how could I institution? I'm saying
We didn't hear you, Dr. Miguna.
everybody has worked with Raila with. Raila is a bit better. And somebody and what we are saying, Uhuru Kenyatta is the worst subterfuge to fight a person and defeat him.
I mean, that is your opinion.
Nobody can only express an opinion in and I cannot. President, he did not command the police. And Raila Odinga to
You're a human being. You understand where you're actually coming. Option for you, okay, Dr. Miguna? Perfect.
no, if you are interviewing be a free exchange. If you mute me again, to make sure,
yes.
it's not about doing good.
Yes.
I have a question for a specific individual. This kind of behind you. If it is my need to know it was Kebuatu.
What's the rationale or statistics? The latest opinion polls have now
of ODM. And so we got paid by so and so. Companies are affiliated. The party they belong to. They have been in this very long time. I've also run in Mount Kenya, part of Eastern. YT2 is with Ruto. It's a huge chunk of vote. Huge vote basket. When you go to Eastern, the Ruto and only place
because we'll be having a series of
when the facts will be known. Right now, and you know, if election
Thank you very much, Dr. You want to get the name? Problems, as we've had them claiming.
have already top to bottom, bottom to top. In patchwork to the top should. That's what I believe in. Of Raila.
Now discuss about gubernatorial. And let me now repeat, if you didn't.
Trickle down never worked. It's never worked. Governors failing, which is where no food security. Migori, the same thing. In ODM works. It was also a mess. The one who impersonated, what I'm trying to say is this. To clean the entire, people would be quantitative. Any of the people that are being fronted by my classmate, I know that he's a workhorse. He's a man who works. Steal public resources that they you go to jail.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Miguna. So we want to ask you this particular question.
Whose policies are supposed to be with that? Because you can see Azimi on his side. Is it the one I would prefer? No. Wanted for Kenya? Oh.
Very much. Let's go. Let's have break. As we come back to forums, but do you think that he has
mess? Uhuru Kenyatta is a man who has borrowed years. And he has been stashed or was probably number one. Maniacs all over the world, from New York, and he has not have been looted. This scandal was human beings dying of hunger. Is running around politically, killing. Uhuru Kenyatta tried to dismember anyone who me, and I thank Kenyans for listening.
are planning to have his agenda on this particular plan. So till next time, we couple of questions from our end and our
are relevant in control over Kenyans who believe in is allowed to get the majority of the vote. The diaspora to make sure from the diaspora. If important that the diaspora contribute
more information from your end to participate in any electoral position.
From you and others when you ask, am I planning to? And you know what? Still Google the information. It's available. Including from the courts, are published in Kenya between me and my lawyers. You disobey court orders. You have never and citizen right. Say that I don't a serious mistake that you made. Advocating for citizens TV.
You accolades and your advice. Never erred or done a mistake and believe you are arrogant and don't listen.
And all me, that's not a person I can respond to.
Dr. Miguna, that's the front runners. What advice do you give Kenyans as they
Kenyans need, desire, unquestionable people do so the party that treated like they are trying, those who are occupying public office. Raila Odinga and William Ruto different. Raila Odinga now this to make he does not care about rights abuse. See Ruto. Raila Odinga is being used by Uhuru Kenyatta. That is unacceptable. And that is trying to fortify. So that the one-party dictator arrested and Raila up my house. I'm not the one who is supporting Uhuru as Uhuru indebted to debt. This tribe, the imperial presidency. The ombudsman, Raila, is doing that with that all these tragic events. Moi tortured Kenyans and killed them. Let's forget about the fact that to build a rail since I was
left.
I say it's nonsense. Call Dr. Ruto corrupt. Do you understand? Uhuru took over his brain. Betrayer. Person. Ruto is standing behind him. So much than Ruto.
That is
and
okay.
Everybody
opinion. I've accepted your opinion. Country. That is what Kenyans expect. Somebody you've actually been cast. And that is why we actually asking you.
Election. The candidates are Raila Odinga, supporting. All right. So the only option I cannot support for the last 60 years, even before I was very, very clear and very easy.
Thank you, Dr. Miguna. Own opinion, you've got your own feeling.
Why do you mute me? Me, I don't want you asking. The question I'm asking is this: interviewing me.
Yes.
It's as if you have been in communication.
Perfect.
They are, so that I know who they are. You say so and so.
Miguna, we are not asking any. We are not. So you can actually even go to your. Dr. Miguna. Don't worry about that. Yes.
Only body has one brain.
Yes.
Generates a question.
Perfect.
I need to know who it's and I can answer it, but I don't want to know it is Makau Mutua. If it need to know it is Raila Odinga.
Thank you very much, Dr. Miguna. It's Keruato, and that. So let's continue.
No problem.
Thank you. Dr. Miguna beat Raila Odinga hands down. Statistical trend behind your now put Raila ahead of Ruto at 3%.
Was good until you spoiled it. Opinion polls, but I will answer it. I'm going to repeat today. Those opinions by Raila Odinga and his group, but they are fake. An info track, which is of ODM. So and so commissioned the poll that this opinion poll, if there are members of what they can't say that, because having said that, I have been in time. I have engaged in politics for a very long time. Raila Odinga, so I know him very well. Member in ODM, so I know. I also know Kenya fairly well. Have I been a political player? Now, right now, based on the favorite candidate, that includes Central and Province, the Merus, other people who are in is a huge basket. Controls that basket at least in Kiambu, for instance. Every the senator Kabogo, Waititu, governor until he was in place with Ruto, almost are with Ruto, and also people as that have been held in the by Ruto. So that's the first point. The entire, because now it's almost 50-50 base. It's almost are with Ruto. A lot of inroads because it's an economic policy and also informal sector and is employed and the dispossessed, which is a huge chunk of vote of Nairobi. Again, the majority of vote followed by lawyers and Ruto command. It's divided between only place where is Luo Nyanza. Kuria is almost gone to Ruto. So when you look, it goes without. Ruto is the leading candidate. Raila Odinga 70. That's what I have mapped. Also been involved in the same space. So I believe my assessment.
Let's not interviews, and we'll definitely
whether my analysis and opinion elections are credible. If
the name so that you can actually get him. It is called the country. Yes.
I have said between Ruto, I did not say Ruto is the best at the beginning of time. And all right, that believe in the transformation of top to bottom, bottom to overhaul of the entire system. So I believe that the entire system should be overhauled. Of Raila Odinga, the betray what they are doing, and I want him to be that Raila would not be able to come. Oh, that's the position.
Thank you for your answer. Discuss about gubernatorial.
All right.
Gubernatorial races across the country. Hey, but let's head to Nyanza. Revolution is working. As citizens getting the trickle.
First of all, who does not deserve my worked in the US. It's never and specific. If we go to told by Raila Odinga and ODM, Raila Odinga and ODM has failed in Homa Bay. The same thing. You go to Kisumu, there is of development, but other than they are grabbing land, public land has been grabbed, and this is the law. Raila's governors are the Ungwe is a mess. Was it Ngara? It was also a mess. It's a mess. The guy should even be in jail. You go all over. And then you saw after the handshake, then Raila was cleaning up Anne Waiguru, who is now in UDA. It's not devolution and leaders devolution a reality for the to clean them and have new people.
Sorry for that. Thank you very much, Dr. Miguna. Your candidate wins around the world. Do you think it will
Generally, coalitions don't work. So means you sometimes irreconcilable. Coalitions don't work, particularly with people of your ideology, is that be implemented. So, say for example, ODM is supposed to be what they say on paper, right path, or the extreme social democrat work with. So I have a to be the patron of, which means is going to be the under of the coalition. Ultra right, they exercise if they to form government. Then look at so-called Kenya Kwanza in terms of political ideology. But we've had ANC for a while. Kenya from when Jaramogi was. If it were the same party, how could work with UDA, extreme right. So I can see we'll have problems. There is no philosophy. Later, the coalitions will either side, and then Kenyans may. You said that constantly, just because Raila Odinga doesn't mean. Is it the one I would prefer? No. Of course not. Far from.
Thank you very much. Let's go. Let's to finalize everything. Thank you very much, Dr. Miguna. Do you think you hit him so hard in many he has improved the Kenyan economy based on the. And if President Uhuru is listening to you,
a man who has borrowed for years and jail, because we do not have 70% if he has utilized effectively, efficiently that kind of or stolen. Secondly, number one or number two on the Pandora's box to maniacs all over the world. Public resources grow. Back from New York, and he has Kenyatta presided over in Kenya's history, where that he promised to address this scandal was for the SGR. People are dying in North East. Animals in Wajir, in North Eastern. When Uhuru Kenyatta utilized by the police, extrajudicial in Kenya, and Uhuru Kenyatta has refused. Uhuru Kenyatta tried to dismantle the I can go on. Of course, I've not even mentioned the brutal, inhumane, the weaponization of that we have seen about, and the record, nor that anybody who claims criminal just like Uhuru Kenyatta.
Today, and as we have promised, definitely every week, God will. Oh yeah, Dr. Miguna. Week. Yeah, in a panel discussion.
Invite me, and I thank Kenyans for listening.
On Sunday we are having on this particular show. Get time again to listen to. As we also are waiting a response also to come to this platform, and also are planning to have the platform and many more people. We thank you, our viewers. But again, if you've not followed KDR TV, great guests like Dr. Miguna at our interviews. Thank you very much, Dr. Miguna, for having this. Appreciate your time once again. Till next time.
Is your year 2022 coming along? Oasis Gardens Nanyuki and established Oasis Gardens Nanyuki is perfectly situated and is only 11 minutes from the city. Acre, half acre, 1 acre, 590k on any of 15k cashback. Ono yako na Optivet.
Thank you very much. So, a couple of questions from our end, and answer them, and I'm pretty sure that you'll match Dr. Miguna. So, what's your
So thank you. I'm not sure my expectation most Kenyans, at least most reasonable, expect that this will be free. No party, no individual is allowed to manipulate them, so that results, the people counted transparently, the winners. So whether or not it will happen, I hope it does.
Very much, Dr. Miguna. To ensure not in their country, but citizens understand
Connected to the wall, but sometimes the question of Kenya. So in the elections, the diaspora also exercise their right to use leaders with extraneous influence. Two, make sure that they guard their votes from the diaspora. That they stay at the post counted. It also contributes to what kind of a country and what kind of leader I think is a bare minimum.
we've really been having some serious problems. We are asking this question, more information from your end. Times to participate in any electoral with a very. So, do you have any plans in the works, Dr.
And I get problems when you ask questions as if for aware that the government violated your rights, allegation. In Kenya. So it's a fact. The only Nairobi of Uhuru Kenyatta is that power is fleeting. You'll be out of power. Holding the Constitution. Yes. These are because 3 months away to Kenya, and the temporary travel document that they, and you know, and if you didn't, you can. That's it. So asking me if I'm planning about what happened, you disregard. I'm the one to decide whether to travel. Well, that I'm being blocked.
Question is that, get more information or any current travel back to Kenya. You communicate. We don't know.
No.
Yes.
No, it's your duty to get the information. There is nothing I communicate with my court orders. You're governed by publicly available information. Publicly available information says to disobey court orders. You have called them to say, look, I run a media house, and violated his rights. You have national and citizen rights doing about it. You've not.
Don't think that we have not actually. Yes. That is Miguna. Being denied to go back to information whereby you even lost a very asking you that particular question that you are not going to forgive us.
I have lost many relatives, so it's. I would say that I don't believable, meaning that it is a because medias are advocating for citizens. So I want to go beyond. I'm trying to make you better. I'm trying to make you.
We appreciate. I can ask you a pretty simple question because many viewers are asking, Dr. Miguna, why do you measure? And have you ever erred or done a mistake?
Me. And a being who has never made a mistake. Somebody says that, they are saying I'm not a human being. Entertain
very much. Dr. Miguna, about distribution of resources. In your own opinion, and what centers on August 8th?
Question. A very good one. Kenya need desire, integrity. They need leaders, transformation, visions of that the rule of law as written that everyone